had a chance to reflect and watch film. What was the issue with the offensive line play on Saturday?
After watching film, there was just, again, I'll reiterate what I said on Saturday. It was a level of execution. We got a lot of talented guys on our team, and it's just when you have a game like against Penn State, and again, a lot of credit goes to Penn State. You just didn't execute as highly, and that's where we come away with something like this.
Did they do anything? I mean, they obviously had a week off. Did they do anything that surprised you?
No. To be honest with you, no. There wasn't anything. There wasn't any new wrinkle or something we've never seen before. They did change up a couple tendencies on blitz-wise, but again, that's something where you see it one time, and it gets you one time, and we have to react to it and get better at it. And that was something that a couple times we did, a couple times we didn't. This just comes down to execution.
Billy, what will be your message to maybe some of these younger guys? I think everybody has to lose a game at some point in their career. This will be the first time a lot of them have responded. I mean, you went through it before. Now, what will you tell them about handling that?
Well, the crazy thing is we only lost 5 games in 5 years. I mean, as we sit here and the world is ending, and the sun came up, and it's incredible. It's just like, wow. We're very blessed to be at a university such as Ohio State, where we only you only lose 5 games in 5 years. Let's take advantage of that. I mean, that's incredible, especially with all the history. As you sit here and you look around the building, Woody Hayes, Paul Brown, all these people here, and we're worried like the world is over. The sky is falling. So as we've been here before. This is something that this isn't a occurrence that happens often. But we grow from this, we get tighter together, and we focus in on us, and we don't worry about everybody else and the fans and this and the other. Because everybody's a couch coach, everybody thinks they have the whistle, but we need to focus in on who we are, the guys in that room, and that's what matters to us.
Yeah, that's part of what I mean. Is like it's so rare. I mean, now this is the first time that a lot of these guys will have to do it. I mean, do you remember when it happened to you the first time, and what that felt like, and what you wanted to do the next week?
Well, it was kind of shocking, to be honest with you, and to be a part of it and actually be playing in it. It's alarming. You're just like, wow, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that. But again, the next week you got to get hungry, got to get after it. I mean, because again, Northwestern's going to come in here. They're great. They're very, very good opponent. They're very athletic, and it's something you can't take for light. You can't take for granted at all.
Did you guys spend more or less time with the film of the Penn State game than you usually would on a Sunday?
No, just usual stuff. I mean,
Okay.
It is. You have to.
You didn't try to move on either quickly or spend more time with it because of the mistakes?
You got to assess the problems, and those problems. It wasn't like there was a huge. We completely didn't understand how to do this or do that, or we didn't catch the ball here or block this or that. It was more or less a situation where you need to understand what you did, address those issues, and get back and get after it in Sunday's practice.
Billy, you were once a first-year starting guy. Were there moments when you felt overwhelmed on occasion? I mean, when teams would throw kitchen sinks at you, things like that. I mean, how did you cope with that, and what would be your advice for like Isaiah and Jamarco, for example, in these moments?
Well, take a deep breath. First and foremost, because again, as a 20-year-old, I was a sophomore playing in 2014 at Penn State, and it's 107,000 strong, and it's white out, and it's screaming, and you've never played before something like that before ever. So just take a deep breath and focus in on what you do, because again, you can't tell, hey, you need to be quiet. Like that doesn't happen. You just need to focus in on what you can do, what you control, and make sure that we are cohesive as an offensive line, and that's what really matters. Because again, you take care, you own your 20 square feet, and everybody else takes care of the job.
I was going to say, but as y'all move forward now, how do y'all get? I don't know, is the confidence back, or are you lacking anything up front? Do you think, from a confidence standpoint?
No, without a doubt. There's never been a question. That was something that was reiterated. There's not a question of ability within our team at all. I mean, we've got very, very, very talented guys in that room. And again, you've got to focus in on what we have and continue to develop and execute higher. That's what it comes down to.
Billy, there were times when Taylor Decker was here where, when things were going well in the run game, he told us that whether it was Coach Warner or someone else on the sideline, he would say, hey, let's run this. This is our bread and butter. We're comfortable doing this. We think we can get going, sort of running these specific plays. Have you guys as an offensive line approached any assistants to do that yourself, maybe Pat being the older guys?
Absolutely. I mean, there was a case, we're on the goal line last week of, Wisconsin, and we're executing pretty well up front in some cases. And I looked at Coach Meyer, Coach Sutton, and said, hey, I'm right behind Pat and I. Let's go get this. Let's go put him in the end zone. Let's go do it. Same case, I think it was 4th and 2. I said, Meyer brought up a play, and I said, yeah, absolutely, run it behind me. Let's go. Let's go take care of this. I mean, because it's bread and butter time. It's time to go make the money, and that's a situation where you just sit there and smile. I want that call. I want that to be behind it. I want to put the ball in the offense on the offensive line, put the game on the offensive line, because we're an offensive line driven team, and that just makes sure everybody else has confidence in us.
Did that happen on Saturday when you guys were trying to run the ball?
A couple times. Like, hey, put the ball behind us, or let's try to get this run, see what we can do.
Billy, can you feel opposing defenses maybe really attacking your run game because maybe they aren't too worried about the pass game? Felt like there were maybe some Penn State linebackers who were just running towards the line of scrimmage on some plays.
Yeah, a little eager. But then again, you have to execute no matter what. If there's 6 guys in the box, we have to take care of that. So it doesn't matter. I could tell that guy, hey, I'm running the ball at you, and I still have to execute. And our tendencies show that we're run heavy, and that's without a doubt. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just still have to execute. There's
nothing wrong with that. Like, can you guys win over the course of the season, being the way you are right now, which is it feels like maybe teams aren't worried about your pass game, and they can attack the run game. You can win that way, or do you have to make them respect the pass more?
Nice wording. Nice wording on that one. That we are actively making sure that we are respected in both aspects, and to make sure that teams fear both the run and the pass. And I know our coaches are doing a great job to continue to push that and to continue to develop both sides of that.
Also good wording.
That was very. Thanks for that one.
Billy, you guys gave up 11 tackles for loss. Was that an aberration, a step back, or did they expose things that maybe you just hadn't corrected yet and now have a chance to?
I think it presents an opportunity to make sure that we can execute at a higher level, and it presents an opportunity to make sure we get better. And it's the little things. So we watch the film, and there's a lot of great things in there. Everybody sees 6 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, but there's still great things in there. There's execution at a very high level, just little breakdowns here and there, and that's what causes stats like that.
Was it guys losing one-on-one battles, or what? If you could put your finger on one aspect of why there were so many tackles for loss, what would it be?
I never like to say that it's one thing in particular, because that's not what great teams do. You're not going to sit here and say, hey, Billy Price sucked at that. That's not, no. Okay, I had a breakdown here. But as a whole, you must understand holistically what happened and how we didn't execute at a high level, and that's how great teams continue to move forward.
When you lose that game, does it make you more anxious for this Saturday to get back out there and kind of flush that? I mean, what's the feeling as you start a work week for Northwestern?
Absolutely. it gives you an opportunity to really show and to get that chip back on our shoulder. Because you sit there and everybody talked about how young we were and how good we weren't supposed to be, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, we're performing pretty well, and then all of a sudden now you get smacked in the face. So now it's time to actually really go out there and show, again, showcase our skills and what we really are about, and that's, we're looking forward to get after Northwestern.
That has been confusing for us, because it's like you're young, you're losing 16 starters, maybe this is a year where you have some things, and then you're number 2 in the country and you're undefeated, and it's like, oh, they're going to be, like, how are we supposed to look at you now? Are you the young team that has some bumps and bruises, or are you like this team that's just going to roll through everybody, and of course you're going to make the playoff?
Well...
He's making you think again.
You are making me think, and it's not. To be honest with you, I really don't care what everybody's opinion is. I've got 105 guys in that locker room who I love and care for deeply, and I really don't care what anybody else says. Because again, you can go down. I got friends down the SEC, and they're just like, oh, you guys are this, you guys are that. Well, I don't really care. I'm the one going out there and playing, so it doesn't matter what the opinion is. We are young. We are young. There are a lot of young guys in there. But they're playing well. They have to play for us, and they have to execute. And if we don't execute, that's where we have issues like this. So again, if it matters of a matter of opinion, let the birds talk. I'm okay with it.
You guys are basically in the same spot for the playoff as you were before this game. That you still have to beat Michigan, you still have to win the Big Ten championship, and then you're in. Was that specifically talked about at all? That, for instance, those college football playoff goals are still out there the same way they were before the loss?
Well, first and foremost, our goals are not to make the playoffs. That comes with the territory. Our goal is to go out and execute and win each game every week, and to make sure we take care of the things up front. With that comes the Big Ten championship. That comes the college football playoff. That comes things later down the road. But it's not to sit here and say hey, our goal is to win the national championship every year. Let's slow down a little bit. So all of our goals are still attainable. We control our fate, and we're just going to take care of each week, and we'll go from there.
Couple more questions.
Isaiah had a tough game. How did he respond? How have you guys talked with him and to make sure that this doesn't linger?
Well, we have to get better as a whole. There were a lot of things I did as well. So you can't sit here and say, hey, it was Isaiah's fault or it was Mike Jordan's fault or whoever, because no matter what, Coach Meyer always says, this is actually a good one. So Coach Meyer always says, if you have a bad receiver, you can go put him in the corner. It's fine. It's fine. You can go leave him in the corner, don't throw the ball, and there's no big deal. If you have an offensive lineman who's not playing well, you can't hide that. So again, it is a holistic thing. An offensive line is a single position. We must perform, at 100% efficiency. Otherwise, you have blunders and bad things happen. So you can't hide that. So we're going to get better.
Specifically, Saturday near one of the crunch time plays, they ran a defensive end across Isaiah's face and ran into you, picked him up, and then they brought the linebacker on a blitz.
Twisted.
Yeah,
Twisted.
and nice. And Isaiah wasn't able. I'm just looking at an example there. Have y'all seen stuff the last several weeks that are literally learning moments? I mean, for a young player, and is that one of them?
Oh yeah, I mean I've had those myself. I mean it's any player who's playing for us right now has been through things that makes them wake up. I mean it's a simple case. In 2014 when I played against Penn State there, it's like holy moly, you got to grow up now. You have to grow up now because that's what our expectations are. Isaiah is not. It's not an attack Isaiah by any means because I'll go to war for him right now. I have no problem with it. I'm not going to sit here and allow somebody to nitpick him. He and I are we're going to get better. There's not a doubt about it. There's not Isaiah played bad because he didn't. He had his blunders. I had my blunders. So I can show you the play right now, and I gave up pressure, and that's hey, let's attack me. Let's not attack him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it is a continuing, evolving kind of situation for an offensive line, right?
Offensive
Learning.
line, you continue each week. You must grow. Absolutely.
Great.
Thanks, Billy.
Thanks, Billy.